right, so let's talk about that though. What if a female makes $100,000 a month? What makes that say she doesn't need a black man?
I don't think her making that kind of money means she doesn't like a black man. I think that's just her.
She doesn't need a man, because that was what they said. A lot of the comments on my page was, I don't need a black man. I don't need a man for anything.
So let me say this.
So
there's women out here that's asexual, that they've been hurt so much that they just want to be by themselves because they have so much trust issues. So, and that has nothing to do with her just want to be independent. That has to do with how much people kind of coming at her with ill intentions because they just want to sleep with her. And then she just basically has this wall up. And
I agree.
Your game gotta be tight enough to break through that wall, because I don't mean to sound misogynistic or like just a woman. I'm not woman bashing, but not for nothing, men approach women. Women don't approach men. That's not necessarily how
that's just a part of that's nature.
Right. That's right.
In any nature, that's any tigers.
Right. So men,
lions, lioness.
So men,
anybody.
Like you said, men typically are approaching women. So if men approach women, a woman is basically putting up her billboard to say, I got my shit together. If you're trying to get in these drawers, or you're trying to have sex with me, or you're trying to do what you're trying to do, don't think you're gonna
get in a relationship with me.
Right, but a lot of females think men just trying to have sex, right? So like, if you don't really present like you're really that interested in them, then they think all you want is to get the skins and you're gonna be gone. So a lot of women are thinking, hey, listen, you gotta come better than that.
But let me stop you there, because there's a lot of females nowadays, the roles has changed. I know more females that's acting like dudes, like niggas did. Dudes acting like females now. Like the dudes is like, I want to get in a relationship, and the females is like, nah, I'm good. We can fuck though.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I'm traditional and I'm old school. That's nasty. Me
and you both.
That's nasty. No woman can.
Me and you both.
A woman that presents herself like that to a man, I just think there's so much layers to her, and something's going on for her to be like that. But I'm not gonna say that doesn't exist. And maybe some girls are just out here for a good time. Maybe they recovering from some breakup, or maybe they just in a groove where they don't have the attention span to dedicate to a relationship. But to say that a woman is just out here trying to penetrate a man or get penetrated by a man, that kind of sounds nasty to me. I don't think that represents all women. I think that there's
I don't think so either. Most definitely.
But I do think there's a segment of women out here that just so frustrated with the dating scene.
They're done.
They so frustrated by the dating scene that they think, you know what? Before I get hurt, I'ma just say I don't need a man. And they basically closing off their options. They limiting themselves, and they're not literally exposing themselves. I think women got a power in the dating scene because they're the ones that get approached, that they have the pick of the litter, but they don't necessarily have good filters. They don't know how to filter out the right types of dudes, so they're gonna struggle with meeting the right types of dudes. So
you think it's a front?
I think, yes, I think it's a front, because if there's a single woman with children, she had children by a man, so somebody got up in there. So for her to say, I don't need a man, but you got children, it's like.
But now she don't need a man.
Right.
Not then, but now she don't need a man for anything.
That sound. But that sound like now
because
she got hurt. But it also sound like now I'm hurt, and because I'm hurt, I don't trust no men. Because of that, I'm like just focusing on myself, and that's what's kind of going on. So I think I'm not gonna say it's a front for everybody, but a lot of women are out here hurt. And because, I'm gonna say this as a therapist, one thing I noticed, majority of the women, and I think the statistics out there, I don't got the statistic in front of me, but like 6 out of 10 women have either been like molested or raped out here. So there's a hurt going on in the black female community. And
this is from a professional view, guys, because he's a professional therapist.
Right.
So he got paperwork and all that. He got the diploma, the degrees and everything. So
right. Don't let the shirt fool you and the backwards hat fool you.
But that's a fact. It's professional.
But there is there's statistics out there that show that it's a large percentage. I don't have the numbers in front of me. We could put that in the descriptions if you want. But there's a percentage of women out there, a large percentage of women out there that's either been sexually abused, sexually molested by by a family, outside person, right? Or they've been victims of some type of sexual misconduct in their lives. Almost, I would say, like more than 50% of women out here, right?
And let me stop you there, because I was thinking about that, right? Now, I was thinking, how does that happen? That a female could be in a home with her mother and father and get molested. Most of those things that happen is in single parent homes, where it's the mother raising the daughter, and she gets a stepdaddy, or the uncle comes by and watches the kids or something like that, and that happens. It's not in a family where it's both parents in the family. So that's his son, no stepdaddy thing. That's her daughter, that's his daughter. So it's kind of like, that goes back to what I was saying with the single parent homes. It's destructive. Something is always a gateway for something ill to happen.
And that's true. But we can't, we don't want to generalize. Not every single parent household is going to be dysfunctional and have that kind of stuff happen yet.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree though. When there's a single parent home, it's more of a vulnerable structure.
Vulnerable, that's where I was
right. It's more vulnerable because the parent has to work, they have to do things, so then you kind of leaving your children to be kind of supported by other folks. And if you don't know everybody that's kind of supporting your folks, and it's hard to really know everybody, you don't know what you could be leaving your children subject to. Now this is getting deep. Now I feel like we get in some deep territories. But I want to add another caveat. I want to add another carrot to this whole thing. The more beautiful, quote unquote beautiful a woman is, the more she's likely subject to sexual misconduct, right? The more attractive a woman is, probably the higher the intensity is. So when we talking about the independent women movement and women out here kind of getting money from dudes, these are probably the women in the quote unquote social media vixens or video vixen world. We talking about women that if in society standards they're more beautiful people, quote unquote, and I put quotes on it because beauty is subjective, but the more beautiful a woman is, the more she's probably susceptible to sexual misconduct. So that's a very important point to make out here. So the independent women that's out here using their sexual value to make money in the world, this could be a very vulnerable population of people, and that's a little bit of a paradox or a funky world to be in. Like, she's beautiful, she gets lots of attention, but she's also very hurt and very unsafe, right? You mentioned like the safe women thing. So we want to be very, very conscious of the population we're talking about. And again, I don't want to paint all women to be that way, because there's some women out here that just getting.
We don't want to paint anybody anyway. I just want to, let's make that clear.
Right. Let's make this disclaimer for the women out here.
Disclaimer.
We two men talking. I will say we talking candidly. I didn't do my Googles and research before I had this kind of conversation, so I don't have like documented statistics and research to kind of support what I'm saying. But what I am saying, and there is
certain things you're already professionally, adhered to. So on certain things we're not talking about the exact numbers, but in certain things professionally he is already statistically, and he knows that in his mind. He has all of these stats already there. So just letting you know, that's not everything, but certain things he talks about, it is from his profession. Right.
So we can make generalizations, but I want to be clear that the women out here that's not getting in relationships, I think a lot of that, like we said earlier, it is a level of a front. There is a front they're putting up, and it has some reality to it. So it's not just a straight up front, like they just fronting like they don't need a man. But a lot of them are saying, ain't no man presented himself to me, and I'm not a woman, but a woman is saying, is no man that presented himself to me that's worth me being in a relationship with him. So let me get my money. And until that guy presents himself, then maybe she'll open up to that, because women get pursued. So if she's getting pursued, that means dudes are pressing for her. So if a dude is pressing for her, he gotta come with it, especially if she's making like $100,000 a month on some OnlyFans stuff. she's probably living a
Okay.
lifestyle that you gotta either be able to understand, or can you actually meet me halfway or meet me where I'm
Let
at.
let me stop you there,
Go
right?
ahead.
Let me ask you this though.
Go ahead, talk your shit.
I'm gonna actually speak from a personal point of view. Now, there was a female I was talking to, and I met her on Instagram. We had great conversations. Started liking each other's pictures, DM. It goes down in the DM. Y'all know the vibes. and we started talking. I'm talking about long conversations. All night, falling asleep on the phone. You know, saying goodnight to her and her daughter. Now, I started talking to her, and I said, you know what? Let me fly you out, because she's from New York. And I said, you know what? Let me fly you out to to Florida, Tampa, where I am, and let's just have a good time. This female told me for me to fly her out, of course I was gonna pay for it, but I would also have to, because I'm dealing with another type of level of female, I would have to, a baddie, I would have to pay for her babysitters to take care of her child while she's gone. On top of that, pay for her flight. On top of that, pay for everything when she comes out here. Like, food, dinner, when we go out, things of that nature. And she said that me not doing that, I said, you know what? I said, I'll pay, me on my end. I said, I'll pay for you to, me, I'm like, what the? I said, I'll pay for you to, when you come out here, I pay for everything. I pay for your flight. But I feel like one thing you definitely gonna pay for is, and this is the first time she's coming out, so I'm like, all right, I'll take care of everything. If we get on some relationship shit, deep shit, of course one day I'm gonna want you to pay for your own flight to come out here and show me that you investing into this situation as well. But she said, I told her, I was like, you're gonna have to pay for your daughter's daycare while you're out here. I'm not paying for that. That's not my daughter. I don't feel like I'm responsible to pay for that. If you want to also deal with me, where we're dealing with the situation, you should, once again, but I'm not sure what her and the situation with her and the baby father, the father of the child is. I don't like baby father. The father of the child, I don't know what their situation is. If she could say, hey, watch the baby girl while I go out, when I go out of town real quick. But she told me I had to pay every day for her daughter to get taken care of while she was out here. What do you think of that?
That sounds crazy, bro. Just in a nutshell, that sounds crazy for
And
a
I want
woman.
everybody to comment below and tell me what y'all think about that situation as well.
That sounds crazy for a woman to tell you to pay for her child's care. Means that where's the money that she would normally pay for the child care? Unless she has to get an extra, she has to do extra because she's leaving town, so she needs more care. But there's I don't know if the father's in the picture, and maybe she's kind of like, you want me to come out. I think there's a level of non-reciprocation where she feels like she's coming out just for you, and she doesn't see the value in her coming out, because in my mind I'm like, why would she want you to be paying for her child care? Like, that's her personal responsibilities, and if she likes you enough, she would go to see you anyway, so she would have to pay for that. Why is it automatically your responsibility to do that? That's one. Or she could be testing you to see, do you really want to see her that bad? I need to see you spend some money. Some women out here quantify a guy's...
Why is that a thing?
I think, you know what? To be honest with you, I tell all of the closest female friends, associates that I have around me, I always, and I'll be honest. I tell her, most women, they just don't trust what a man's saying out his mouth. So atypically, they know he has ulterior motives, or he might have his own agenda. So I used to tell all my close female friends, associates, that you test a man's pockets. Really, if you want to understand a man, you need to test his pockets. Now that sounds a little counterintuitive, because that makes her almost like a gold digger, right? Like she's trying to only get his bread. But some men out here...
When does it come to a situation where if you are also interested in this man, you come forth? When does it become a point where the girl invests the same way a guy invests, to say, I actually am interested in you the same way you're interested?
What is the woman getting out the deal? Like, for her, she must feel like, yo, if I'm gonna come up off her panties, right? She wanna recognize that I'm not paying nothing, because if he doesn't talk to me ever again, at least I don't feel like I got duped out of money. So that's maybe how she's equating it. Now, like I said, that's crazy. If I'm a woman, I'm not a woman, so I can't say that. A woman shouldn't be sitting there asking for nobody to spend the money on her child care or arrangements. You know, that's not your responsibility. So for her to make that type of request, you know, that's some weirdo shit, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And there's women out here that will do things like that just to test the boundaries of how much money they can get from dudes. So I tell you right now, I'm not the dude that really values a woman that sits there and asks a man to just pay for things just because they're gonna spend time with them. I think when you say Dutch, I think that means like it's reciprocal. Like, we both out here, we both spending money, we both spending time, you know, we both get something out of it. For me to just be spending all my money and you just show your face and then whatever we do is what we do, you know, I think it creates a lopsided balance, and I don't think that's fair. But I know women out here that do that, and I think often it's because women don't trust. Or maybe she don't got it. Maybe she just broke and she's like, yo, I gotta come out here and this is money I gotta spend and I don't got that.
No, she got it because she went shopping after that.
Maybe she don't got it for you. Maybe she just, you're like, I don't got it for you.
That's what I mean. Like, when does it come to a point where, and that's where the conversation lies again with the valuing our men, valuing men that's trying to be there with you, but yet since you're so popping on Instagram, and this is not something that you're popping on your own, because it's not like you had. Another thing is, oh my God, I'm glad you said that. I forgot to go back on that point. You said that her value is a certain value. Now, what about the females that their values, they're not valued that high? They can't buy. No, I want to be honest. They can't buy a $30,000 Birkin on their own, but they feel that you should buy them a $30,000 Birkin on their own because you should buy them a $30,000 Birkin because they look a certain way, or they look good, or their ass is fat, or you know.
That's a girl trying to level up. She just like, yo, I need a Birkin. I can't afford it. This dude got the big earrings that's with the baguettes in it that's gleaming. He got an arcade.
Not princess cuts. Princess
cuts that's gleaming. He got a Batman. He got an arcade. Like, bro, give me a Birkin. That shouldn't be no sweat off your back. Again, I think it's the optics. It's how you presented yourself. If you presented yourself like you spend money casually like that, right?
On myself.
But it's still casual. It's still casual spending, which means that you have an excess of money. So when you spending casually, it looks like you have an excess of money. So a woman is like, I can't really afford a Birkin. It's an excessive item, but I'm rocking with this dude that's excessive. So this excessive dude should be able to spend the money on my Birkin. So
why?
Because
you're not valued that high.
So
and especially this is at the beginning. You're not even, just because you look good, like just because you have a fat ass, like that automatically you deserve a Birkin?
Nah, I don't agree. I don't think the woman deserves a Birkin, but I think a girl that's like,
and she'll look at you like, nigga, you broke. If you don't buy me a Birkin, I'm not fucking with you because you don't buy me a Birkin.
That's a con
not
game.
even. Let's not even say Birkin because a Birkin is high. That's $30,000. Let's talk about, all right, you gonna buy me a Gucci bag just to come out? I gotta buy you a bag. That, to me, that just, where did we get to a point where in society, for you to come and vibe with me and get to know me, I have to buy you a bag? For us to get in a situation where we're exclusive and we're getting to somewhere where we can build together, I have to buy you something to equate to being with you.
Now, let me tell you something. Those women on social media that's popping, they got all the followers, that get all of the Birkins and that's getting flown out, they are setting a standard for women online, and they're the role models. So don't get it twisted. She may not be that poppin' social media person, or she may feel like I got certain assets, and if I come across a dude that he's interested in me, maybe I could pull like these other social media joints out there. So it's bad role model.
We both know the game. They're not gonna get that guy because the guy with the bread don't want a relationship because he could get all of the joints, allegedly.
Right, allegedly, because there's some joints out there, you know, you're capturing dudes or having babies by dudes, right? There's a lot of stuff kind of going
then
on.
you talk about trapping. You talk about trapping.
Trapping or they listen. I don't think the woman trapped the dude if he wanted her to come in there and he put his thing up in the girl. I don't think she trapped. I don't think she trapped him. He got. You know what? He got, but he was on some stupid. You know what I mean? He was just bugging out because he got to know his own value. So you know, I know we talked about the devalued black male, but there's black men that don't know their worth out here also, and if they out here dropping they future legacy off in these random joints, then they out here doing stuff that's like, you know, idiotic, right? Like, why you out here just breeding or raw dogging a chick that's not, you don't even really know her like that, right? Or you don't know her intentions like that. So it's a whole messed up generation of society, folks. We talking about women, but there's also the other side of the men out here that don't really know the game, or they just coming up on money and they coming up on celebrity and fame, and they don't really know how to navigate their celebrity and fame appropriately, and they out here just doing dumb stuff that's messing up the rest of the game for everybody else. So don't get it twisted. That girl that asked for the Birkin, she might have gotten a bag or something expensive from another dude and was like, yo, I got a different level of a dude, and so maybe let me level up my axe.
She did, and she went shopping. I seen the pictures, and guess what? A couple days later, the dude is nowhere to be found.
He got the drawers and
she's single again. Exactly.
He got the drawers, dog. He got the drawers.
I saw her in the mansion party, pool party, vibing it up, bottles throwing up.
Crazy.
You know, it's going up. It's going up. But when you get back to reality, what do you end up with? Nothing. You end up single. You end up, he just used you for the pussy when you could have had this dude that actually wanted to start a future with you.
So wait. And maybe this could be the point where, you know, we might stop at. But wait, let me ask you a question. Are you saying you out here want relationship? Is that what you're saying? Because I know you, my brother. I've known you for a very long time. Are you saying that when you meet, when you're out here meeting women or these different DMs and social media interactions that you're having, it's all in pursuit of a long-lasting relationship with somebody?
That's not the plan. And like I said, because
so why you putting that out there though? You putting it out there like.
But this one was. Like I said, it's not everybody. Once again, we in that life.
Well, hold on. Let I want to ask you a question though. So would that be immature of you? Because look at what you learned about this chick, and this was the chick that you was trying to. The chick that couldn't pay for home babysitter was the chick that you wanted a long-term relationship. She could have paid for it. She didn't want to. She wanted me to do it because she said, "You dealing with a different type of girl. You should have to pay for everything, single thing." This is the type of girl that you were interested in a long-term monogamous.
But she wasn't talking like that before. Exactly. She wasn't talking like that before. It wasn't that talk.
Yeah, but you gotta learn, you see. So you were looking for something long-term with a woman that you didn't even really know like that.
And when I got to know her, but the thing is, when we got to know each other, I did know her. Personality-wise, I did know her, but when it came to getting to now we're gonna really actually start connecting on this, it was more of a, all right, if you want me to, you got to do everything. And I cut her off. I actually cut her off for like a week. Then she called me back like, nah, that's not what the case. Because I felt like, once again, I told her straight up, I feel like you gold digging. Like, what are you talking about? If we're going to do this. And she, you know what she said? She offered to pay for a ticket. Now, what I did was, I was going to play her. I was like, all right, you offered to play a ticket? All right, cool. Let me see that. Let me see. Let's do it. Book the ticket right now. And I played that, and I was gonna let her pay for the ticket, but as soon as she paid for the ticket, I was gonna cash out her the bread, just to show her like, all right, I see that you interested, I like that. But as soon as she said that, she was playing me. She was like, yeah, and then she kept going back and forth. There was always a situation, blah 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 blah, and it just came out to be bullshit. And then I realized once again she was talking to other niggas, of course, other niggas bag, other niggas smash. Now I don't even want you no more. Your pussy's devalued now. Now I feel like you just looking for a bag, and anybody that has a bag at the present moment, might not be longevity bag, but just at the present moment, you'll let them be, or you'll let them get to a place where I wanted to be, which was close to you. So you know, of course, we're gonna have to wrap it up soon. But in closing with that is, I just feel like if you're interested in a man and the man is interested in you, we both have to meet in a certain way. Yes, a guy should pay for certain things. A female shouldn't pay out of pocket for certain things, because that's just a gentleman thing to do. But when it comes to personal things like your child care, what does that have to do with me and you getting in? I don't even want to know your child until we get to a certain place that we know we're gonna link and be serious on that point where I have to be involved with your child. But I shouldn't be involved with your child. The father of the child should be involved, to where if you want to move around or if you have something to do, then you can go ahead and you know, take care of that.
Yeah, so I just want to say this also in closing, right? The video, you know, that whole independent women movement and not needing a man thing, I think right now there's a big dilemma in the black community in relationships. The water is muddy and we're not seeing things clearly, and there's a lot of miscommunication. Like you mentioned, that circle of violence that hurt people, you know,
hurt people hurt good people, then they become hurt and they become bad, and then the bad, right, then they meet somebody good, and then the vicious cycle.
But that circle of, you know, hurting others in relationships is a real thing, and due to that vicious cycle, I think women have learned to kind of empower themselves to be independent, just because they don't want to. I think there's an issue of women kind of continuously being hurt. Now, I'm not saying that men out here just trying to hurt women, but there's an issue going on and there's a lot of miscommunication. So women are just empowering themselves, and that concept is very domineering, and I think it's intimidating a lot of men. So I think we need to also have a conversation about, you know, men not being intimidated by certain women's presence, and, you know, men also empowering themselves, because there's also a men empowerment issue, I think, happening. I think we got a lot of docile, feeble, passive, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety filled society, period. And because men are under persecution and the black men is like, you know, a target, right? We are devalued target because of that whole premise. I think there's a lot of issues going on the men's side, and I think women, in a lot of ways, because of all their success, they're intimidating men. But again, like, there's a conversation to be had about men's role and how women are feeling and why this independent movement is coming and how men are actually contributing to that. And in terms of your, you know, the person you was talking to, I think that's trifling for a woman to sit there and ask you to pay their child care. I think she's exploiting or trying to take advantage of a circumstance. That person is not for you.
That's a fact.
Or what
she's
she was,
gone.
you know, in that moment, you know, she wasn't for you. Yet, I will say you can't judge that situation as all women, right? And just a message for women out there, I do believe that, you know, if you know your value in the marketplace, you know, have your, you know, you don't have to settle on what you kind of want. Yet, with that whole mentality, you're gonna lose a lot of guys, because
good ones.
Sure know, yeah, you know, like Showtime over here, you're gonna lose somebody like that if you're sitting out here trying to squeeze his pockets just to feed your ego. And at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna lose a lot of men if you're out here with that kind of mentality.
And then you're gonna get done by them guys that do got it, and then those guys that do got it that's not really looking for that, and you know, you're gonna get got. And then that's when you're gonna keep getting hurt, and then you're gonna keep saying fuck men, keep saying nah, fuck these niggas pay me, and then it's gonna become a transaction once again. Money, pussy. And that's what we're trying to break here with this conversation. In closing, what we're trying to break is this conversation where it's so blatant, where it's just, you give me pussy, I give you money. We gotta stop that. We gotta find a place where it gets back to the getting to know each other. And if we do like each other, then we show that by giving you the money, and you show me that by giving me the pussy, or, you know, giving me the money as well. It don't gotta be about sex. You could do something nice. You could be like, hey, I used to have a girl, my ex-girl, she used to say, hey, I saw this shirt, I liked it on you, I think it would look nice on you here. like little stuff like that matters. You know what I mean? Like, and the same thing with guys. We always got to do that. I had a Victoria's Secret credit card just for my females to say if I wanted to go shopping for them, I say, all right, you know what? Let me go pick us something up to, you know, give that vibe. You know what I mean? So we got to get back to that at the end of the day. We just got to get back to that point where it's becoming a point where, yes, you value yourself. Yes, women, I love that you value yourself in the marketplace, but losing good men out here to the point where you're saying if it's just about the bag, and it's not about the personality or getting to know that person, or even if that person has the bag, they could have 75% of that bag and you just come with the 25%, and you guys are golden. That relationship will go a far way. So, you know, we just got to get to that point where we get back to that realness, you know what I mean? And really trying to get to know each other, not for the money, not for the pussy, but, you know, just to get back to building this nation and building us as family men and as family women, and just coming together, man, because it's hurting to see us falling the way we falling, you know what I mean? In closing, what do you think, SYPHA? What do you got to say?
Yeah, nah, we in real troublesome waters. You know, I think if we really about black empowerment, then the family needs to thrive, and with all of this dysfunctional households and, you know, people just being independent, it's not really promoting unity. So it created more divide. So we got to be out here. I'm about black empowerment. You're about black empowerment. So if we're about black empowerment, we're about bringing each other together. And I think it's all about the conversation. So this is a great conversation. Appreciate it.
And we're definitely gonna have more, man. This is just the first one, guys. But definitely wonderful time talking to you, my brother. You know, it's gonna be many more, but this is just one of the topics that we felt strong about, that we wanted to build on with you guys. Comment below if you guys have anything you want to talk about, if you guys want to see another discussion about this a little bit further, and maybe, you never know, we might bring in 2 females, one on his side, one on mine, to have the female's point of view, so we can go from there as well, and just have this conversation and build on that. All right, but besides that, guys, like and subscribe, do what we do, stay tuned, there's plenty more to come. Peace and love, y'all. SYPHA?
FREEDGY TV, like and subscribe if you want to hear more conversations like this. I definitely want to hear your comments, want to hear your feedback. This is just one of pretty much many discussions that I could have with Showtime, who has a lot of worldly experience dealing in relationships. He's very confident, man, that's had a lot of success with women out here in the scene. So I think his perspective is very valuable. So if you want to have more conversations like this, just let us know. Let us know some common topics, right? Subscribe to FREEDGY TV. If you like, subscribe to Jeffrey Prosper Blogs. The information will be down in the descriptions for you to subscribe to his channel, FREEDGY TV. We just want to have more conversations to kind of help us think through different kind of critical issues and just have some open dialogue. All right, like, subscribe. Talk to you soon.
Peace and love. You know the vibes.
Peace and love.
Wait a minute, Showtime, Rocky with it. Boy, step on the scene. So icy with it. Brim love off the jump. Try your luck, we gon' dunk. Bang. Sequay, zip them up. My vision, precision, vividly paint that picture. Haters making them threats. Why? Cause I'm that nigga.